So over about the past 2 weeks, I've been building up all of the members of Squad Zero in anticipation for dropping this video where we take the new Gotei 13 and pit them up against Squad Zero. The reason I felt like I really wanted to do this video is because at the first invasion in the Thousand Year Blood War, we get a statement that Squad Zero is stronger than that of the Gotei 13. However, many members of the Gotei 13 get power buffs, they reveal their Bankais, get new forms, all sorts of different things happen. So it really does call into question, is the Gotei 13 still weaker than that of Squad Zero? But if you enjoy this type of content and you are a fan of Bleach videos, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe as I upload these videos every Wednesday and Sunday. So if that's something you would like to see, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. Also, you can click that join button and become a channel member if you want to further support the channel and get access to secret content that I have here on the channel, as well as hidden channels in the Discord. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. First issue that the Gotei 13 is going to encounter is Uetsu Nehemiah, the Zanpakuto god, as he was able to single-handedly kill the Royal Guard, who were stated to be Yuha's strongest soldiers, meaning that if you do not scale to the Royal Guard in any way, you're basically getting a sword to the face from Uetsu Nehemiah, blitzed, one shot, you're done, you're not relevant in this fight. So basically, we have Shunsui, Byakuya, Kenpachi, Mayuri, Toshiro, Renji, and then maybe Nemu and Nanao. I know that they both participate in battles with some of the members of the Schutzstaffel. Nemu should be fine with the whole like soul shaving thing, but Nanao's a bit more iffy. But those are basically the people that do fight members of the Schutzstaffel. And I would say that they don't definitively just beat Uetsu at this point, because yes, members of the Schutzstaffel do get the Ashwallen buff, which makes them stronger, and these people do go on to fight these members of the Schutzstaffel. However, do keep in mind that the way that Uetsu was taken out is that he was taken out when he was caught off guard. Like, Lily shoots him as soon as they're revived, and then he shoots him a second time, but when he goes to shoot him the second time, Korinji and Kiryu move in between the shot to try to block it. So it is possible that Uetsu is like, oh yeah, my buddies in Squad Zero, they got this covered. They're gonna block the shot for me. Even though Uetsu was already capable of blocking Lily's shots, I don't know why they would move in to block it. Perhaps Uetsu was incapacitated by the first shot, which would make sense as Lily is the person who does ignore durability when he attacks. So I'm not saying this is all objective to be like, oh, Uetsu would just still like stomp everybody and all these captains don't have a chance against him, but I am saying it is possible that Uetsu could still put up a fight against them, considering how much stronger he was than the Royal Guard, being able to one-shot all of them. The only one who really stood a chance was Askin, but Askin was purposefully downplaying himself so he could get a hit in on Uetsu. But we do see that if Uetsu is healthy, you know, at 100%, and Askin's healthy at 100%, that Uetsu just runs over and one-shots him, basically. And then the fact that Uetsu was taken out by Lille, the guy who specifically has the durability negating ability, and he catches him off guard, as he should have to do, as Uetsu's already demonstrated that he can react to Lille's bullets. I mean, it does lend some credence to the fact that Uetsu would still be relevant in this battle. But let's give the Gotei 13 the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that because they all fight a member of the post-Ashwallen Schutzstaffel, let's say that they all advance to go fight Ichibei himself, the final boss of Squad Zero. Already, there's two ways we could argue this. Ichibei has a statement of where he stands atop all of the Shinigami, and if you take that as like Ichibei knows what everybody is fully capable of, and this statement is made with the knowledge of Kenpachi's possible Bankai and Toshiro's matured Bankai, Byakuya's secret techniques, then basically Ichibei would stomp everybody, because this statement was made with the knowledge of these people's new abilities, and it wouldn't matter that they got new powers or anything, because he's already stated by himself and by Yuha to be the strongest Shinigami. However, there is another way to kind of argue this. You could say that this statement was made before a lot of these characters got their new abilities, so therefore it doesn't apply to characters that got new abilities after the statement was made. Now, I would still say that someone like Shunsui and Mayuri would get negged by this statement, because Shunsui's Bankai wasn't anything new, he just hadn't used it yet, right? And Mayuri's Bankai was more of a modification of his Bankai. It was less of a whole new thing, where like Toshiro actually matures and perfects his Bankai, Kenpachi actually achieves Bankai, Byakuya makes new techniques, right? If you want to give Mayuri a pass and let him in on the battle because it's a modified Bankai, that's fine. It's really not going to matter too much in the end result, but I would say it definitively then comes down to Kenpachi, Byakuya, and Toshiro versus Ichibei. Which, surprisingly enough, you might say, well, Ichibei fought Yuha, so there's no way these guys can actually stand up to Ichibei because he's smacking around Yuha. But there are two things to argue against that as well. When Kenpachi is mourning Unohana's death and he's like, man, now I have nobody left to fight, this is really going to suck. Unohana's like, you have 3 very powerful rivals right now, and she shows Byakuya, Ichigo, and Renji, meaning that Renji and Byakuya, who are still kind of a part of this battle, actually rival Kenpachi in power, even after getting all these amps, meaning they're not going to be useless in this battle. Then, when Unohana says you now have worthy opponents to fight, she shows a picture of Yuha, which actually does imply that Kenpachi is on Yuha's level now. Now, this doesn't actually mean that they'll be able to beat Ichibei, because even if they're on Yuha's level, well, Ichibei smacked Yuha around, so it's like, what difference does it make to him that there's like 4 Yuha-ish tier characters running around? He'll just make big hands and start slapping them around like he's playing whack-a-mole. However, there is another statement that could really help this group out and making them a bit stronger, and that is when they fight Gerard. When Gerard gets to his super big god mode and he's like, I've never been this big before, he says, I am the biggest, baddest, strongest, and fastest Quincy. And if you want to take into account that Yuha, despite being the father of all Quincy's, is still considered to be a Quincy, you could argue that this makes that big Mega Gerard stronger than at least base Yuha. And then he undergoes another transformation after Bankai Kenpachi's whole like stamina thing wears out, and then everybody then jumps that Gerard and manages to kill him. So you can actually say that they're quite a bit removed from base Yuha as well. Like they're a decent bit stronger than him, unquantifiably so, but they also have like a lead over base Yuha as well, which would actually put them closer into Ichibei's power range than not being in his power range, right? To which at that point, if they're going to have a fight, I would say the argument comes down to, what do you think takes place first? Ichibei's ability to neg abilities with his black ink, or do you think Toshiro's adult ice would freeze Ichibei's ability first? Because they're both 2 types of power null. Toshiro's ice completely negates any ability that he freezes, but if Ichibei splatters something with ink, it cuts the ability in half and also blots out its abilities. So it really does at that point come down to, which one do you think takes precedent first? You could say that they maybe negate each other, like the power nulls kind of just cancel each other out, so like Ichibei's slinging ink around and Toshiro keeps freezing it with his Bankai, leaving Kenpachi, Renji, and Byakuya to fight Ichibei himself, at which point they might legitimately have a chance, although do keep in mind that Ichibei is still a beast. He has all of the hidden Hados and things as well, although if they're all relatively the same level of strength, Ichibei would more than likely fall fighting 4 people that are relative to him that have pretty decent abilities, especially if Toshiro can lock down the ink ability. Although as you guys can see, it's kinda debatable. And that's more or less what I wanted to talk about in this video, how it is debatable that the Gotei 13 now is actually on that Zero Squad tier. After getting their true Bankais, unveiling their actual powers, and perfecting their Bankais, they actually have reached this level where they can scrap with Squad Zero. Now, hopefully Can't For Your Own World Volume 3 doesn't come along and ruin everything that we just talked about by having Oetsu and Korinji just stomp down into the Soul Society and say, yeah, we're stronger than all of you, by the way, and they just start one-shotting people just to prove they're strong. But I would love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you think the new Gotei 13 could actually beat Squad Zero? As I said, there's a lot of points of contention here. For instance, it could just not be a fight at all if you think Ichibei does know about everybody's abilities and still made the statement that he stands atop all Shinigami. Like he's saying that no matter how much potential these characters have, I will always be stronger than them, or something along those lines. Then there's also like, do you think Gerard is the strongest Quincy? Like, do you actually believe what he's saying? All that stuff, leave it down in the comments down below. You can also come into the Discord and debate this with other people. I'm sure there's people on both sides that would love to have this discussion. So feel free to come in there and have a nice, friendly debate with other people, or at least we'll try to keep it friendly. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video as well. It really does help me out. Click that join button if you want to support the channel by becoming a channel member. And with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace, late guys.